Okay, so here are the rails, and here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed.
Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going.
It's Tuesday.
Yay! We're so glad you're here. Today we are talking about kids' party locations, like where to have a party for children, because kids' birthday parties suck.
Right. So, welcome to CK and GK. We are the show that tells you all of the things that we've had to learn the hard way, and we all know how much kids' birthday parties suck. So today we're here to make them suck less. And we are me and my fabulous co-host Caitlin, who we could also call 30 Degrees because she's a cute little angle.
Oh, I love that one. Math nerds everywhere are rejoicing, aren't they? Love it. So I have to say, I know how much my co-host Jenny loves disco music, and she keeps up with the fashions of the late 70s. She's a fan of ABBA and the Carpenters, and she listens to Peter Frampton and Todd Rundgren, just like Jackie Burkhart from that 70s show.
Or me in real life.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I can't believe I hadn't hit that one up sooner.
I wish that I was like as trendy as she was in the 70s. I'm just, 50 years behind the times. But my good night song for Kit when he was a baby, I would rock him to sleep, was Close to You by the Carpenters.
Nice. I like that one. Mine was from either a Huggies commercial or a Pampers commercial, and it was just a cute little song about mommies hugging their babies. Yours is better.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully he doesn't find out that I sang it, that I stole it from a commercial. Does it matter? Probably not.
No, but it's fine because Abby's was Somewhere Out There from Feifel. Which also like awkward foreshadowing to when we don't live in the same house 50% of the time. And it's like, oh, yeah. John's like, that song's too sad for divorced mom.
It is sad.
And I was like, well, I didn't choose it then.
Right. Yeah. That wasn't the intent. I wasn't intending to predict my own future, but thank you.
Right.
Oh, anyway, mine was the one I heard this morning was Wouldn't It Be Good? Wouldn't it be good if, remember that song? Anyway.
Yes, but of course, like the old me is like, oh, that's a Beach Boys hit, and it's wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah, no, it's the Wouldn't It Be Good version.
If we were older,
oh my gosh,
then we wouldn't have to wait so. Yeah.
Oh,
it's been a while since I've sang.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
You're just catching up on all the singing that you missed.
I am. Today, y'all, I liked 100 Instagram posts from the same account.
It's like
the same account.
Yeah.
I was like deep diving. I'm starting to find some balance in my life. Also, today, the day that we're recording is March 1st, which means that February is over. And for those of you who are not the training and education chair of the Junior League of Austin, you don't understand what February training month means, but I just put together, or oversaw 40 different events in the shortest month of the year.
28 days, 40 events. Like,
yeah.
No. So much.
Happy March 1st.
Yeah.
Or as I told my committee today, Happy New Year. Because February felt like it was a year long.
For real. Oh.
All right. So here's what I'm obsessed with right now.
Yes.
Shirataki noodles / rice.
I do not know what those are.
Okay. So it's like from some Japanese like sweet potato underground plant, some kind of tuber of something. And they make these noodles that you can eat and then you like don't digest.
What?
Yeah, they're like 0-calorie noodles, or they slice it into pieces that are rice sized, a la cauliflower rice. But it has like, it's kind of like eating rice noodles or, pasta, but it just passes through you.
Like whole, like a flax seed? If you don't
like
grind
if
it up?
you don't chew it. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
So like you might feel like you have bum worms, but if you can move past that, like it's pretty amazing. Like we're eating pasta again at my house.
So my first thought was like, oh, it's like negative calories, like celery, right? Like because it takes more work to digest the celery than it does to take it in, right?
But also, my mom calls celery the toothbrush of the intestine. So it still gets a intestinal
This is
name
gross.
brand. Oh, it's super gross. It's super grody, but it is game changer because we had Vietnamese pho soup with noodles, not just broth.
Nice.
And tonight I had fried rice. And it was just fried whatever these little pellets are that are going to move through my body.
All right. Well, gross.
Match that.
I got nothing. Okay, well, first of all, I realize I'm very late to the party on this. But there's a body oil called bio oil, BIO-OIL, bio oil.
Okay, so let me tell you this.
Yeah.
In our little rundown, our little show notes, like guiding document,
yes,
I saw that you had put that your current obsession was bio oil.
Yes.
And I thought that you had like bought a car that runs off French fry grease.
Oh, that's our $1 million idea. That's it.
I mean, those exist.
Well, then all right, then it's someone else's.
So that's what I thought you were
going
to tell me. It's like,
no, this is like, we've talked about.
That's biodiesel.
Yeah, that's a different
by
thing.
the way.
Yeah, there it is. Yep, you're right. That's what it is. No, this is like, we've talked about face oils before. Like you put your moisturizer on and then you put a little tiny bit of oil on your hands and you dab it on your face to like trap that moisture in, right? This is that, but it's for your whole body and it smells so good. And my skin is like finally not dry, like for the first time in a while. So bio oil, you can find it like in the grocery store and you can also find it at like CVS and Amazon and all the places. But like there's two kinds. There's one that's like the regular, I guess, kind, and it's like pink, kind of corally pink. And then the other one is yellow and it's like fragrance free or something. I personally like the fragrance one, but like people rave about both. So,
sure.
It's awesome. Highly recommend.
So we are a fragrance free laundry detergent family. And let me tell you why. John is really allergic.
Really? Okay.
Yes. But when we were first married, I did not believe him.
Oh.
I thought it was one of those things like when people say they're gluten free and it's like, oh, well, do you have celiac or do you just not like gluten? Oh, well, I'm gluten free, but I also drink a lot of beer. Like, okay, so you're not. So I started washing our clothes in my normal detergent that was heavily like scented and fabric softener, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, no.
And then he like broke out in this rash and he's like, I have this rash. I don't know why, but I'm so itchy. Look at my skin. And he's like showing me.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, I know the whole time it's because I switched detergents.
Oh, that's awful. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Isn't that terrible? Like, I'm bad.
Well, at least now you know it's real.
Oh, yeah. It's super real. So
dear.
we are fragrance free now. And that doesn't mean that like I don't wear perfume or whatever. Like still there's plenty of fragrances in our home, but we don't use scented laundry detergent. We have to use that like free, whatever it is,
Yeah.
That has no colors and no scents and no fabric softener, blah, blah, blah. But yeah. So how did I find out? Because I didn't think he was telling the truth and then found out that I gave him a rash.
Oh, man. I mean, there are people who say things like that, so I get why, but...
Please.
Yeah.
I'm one.
Really?
Like, oh, well, I don't really eat carbs. I mean, unless they're like pizza crust and
or like a big giant pretzel, like a soft pretzel
or
with cheese.
Pretzel, right? Like,
God, why does that sound
I eat carbs.
so
I just
good.
try not to eat them when like I'm not going to give them up. Like the other day I went to brunch and I asked for my salad with no croutons, but I ordered a beer to go with it. Like, my carbs come in a cup today.
Right. Exactly. It's fine. No judgment. But I'm glad that you found out that he was actually allergic and then stopped using it because that needed to happen. Poor guy.
Terrible.
All right. Well, speaking of ridiculousness, what's going on? Anything funny this week?
Okay, so Friday night, we had an overnight sitter because we had some plans. Those plans got canceled, but we did not cancel the sitter.
Never cancel the
Never
sitter.
cancel the sitter.
Oh my gosh, never cancel the sitter. No way.
Okay. So I said to John, I had to work on Saturday. So I'm working, doing my thing. Yes, teachers do work on the weekends. It's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but our school is right next to a frat house and they were having a crawfish boil. And I was listening to crawfish boil, like Texas country kind of music the whole time I was working. And I said to him, I really want to go dancing after listening to all that music. I want to do something totally wacky. Let's either go to Don's or go to Broken Spoke or whatever, go dancing.
Fun.
And we're kind of like hemming and hawing, like, is this really what we want to do? Let's see what else is out there. So we start scrolling on one of those calendar websites.
Yeah.
That, kind of post all kinds of things going around town.
Yeah.
And if your city doesn't have one of those, it's because you haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
Every city
they all
has
have
one.
them.
So I'm scrolling, and one of the things that comes up, I'm kidding, I'm not even kidding, this is like for real, was a Daft Punk / Fish tribute band. And I looked at John and said, we have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot continue to scroll. We cannot go dancing at a place we already go to. We cannot do anything else tonight. We must go see this Daft Punk / Fish tribute band. Not a huge Daft Punk fan, not against them, just not very familiar with their catalog. I cannot name a single Fish song.
Do they have song titles or is it just like jam band?
Now we're playing this other tune.
Yeah,
right?
Someone's going to be mad at me for saying that, but I don't, I couldn't either.
It's fine.
I can't tell you one either.
There's plenty of jam band people out there. I'm not one of them, but that's not like, I'm not against it. I just don't follow it.
Right. Probably the closest one I would say I'm into is maybe Wilco, but I don't even consider them necessarily a jam band. They kind of have that in them, but
they do it sometimes, but it's not like that's not why you go see them.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Anyway,
so it's at a small venue. There's like all little pop-up vintage dealers all over the venue.
Cool.
So we're like walking around, shopping looking at old clothes and housewares and blah blah blah. There was a tarot card reader, which we did not go to, but I have had my tarot cards read before.
I would have that done. That's cool.
Yeah, it's funny. Anyhow, we're just having a blast. The band was amazing. Okay? While we are waiting, John and I are saying, do they do Daft Punk songs in the style of Fish? Do they do Fish songs in the style of Daft Punk?
Yeah.
Do they do their own stuff that's kind of a tribute to both? The answer was all of it.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
They did all of it. They had a live light show going. And like we stood right by the sound booth because, the sound is always best right by the booth.
Mm.
And we're watching the guy do the light show. He's got this giant keypad and like pressing all the buttons and making the lights go. And he's dancing. And the band is on stage and they're just like looking at each other, following each other, doing their thing. It was phenomenal. And we went because we were just intrigued. Like, can this even be a thing?
Right. Wow. So you had a good time.
I almost put it as my obsession. And John was like, you cannot say you're obsessed with a jam band tribute band.
No, he's right. You can't say that. But that's really like hysterical that's where you were going with this. I'm
right.
So do they have like a catalog? Like, can I need to understand. So do you like have is there a song I can go listen to somewhere? Like what's up?
So they're not like on Spotify or anything.
Okay.
The name of the band, I'm not even kidding you, is Daft Fish.
Yes. Yes.
Like, what is the name of our band? The bands that we like. But like they're on Insta.
Okay. I'll
YouTube.
Yeah, I'll go find. I just need to understand. At least understand like the sound. Maybe not understand your obsession. I don't know if I ever will, but I can at least go understand the sound. Right?
No, it was funny. It was a great night.
I'm glad you had fun. That's awesome. Once again, my child coming in hot with the funnies. So, this.
It's because his mom is funny.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's genetic.
The apple didn't fall far from that tree, did it? In so many ways, and it's kind of bad, actually. Oh, anyway, so we've talked about this before. Like my son has been a struggling reader in the past, and we've worked really hard this year, and so has he, and he's really made some amazing progress, and he's finally he's finally feeling confident enough to read out loud to us sometimes.
That's huge.
And when I tell you that I pretty much like well up with tears every time it happens, I'm not exaggerating. Like it's just really, really awesome. So he's good about picking out the books that are clearly like his reading level. And one of the books that he got from his great grandmother and grandfather a long time ago is a children's version of the Bible. And last night he chose to read that. Now, I should preface this by saying that we are not a particularly faith-focused family. I was raised Catholic, but if you are like me, you know that we're cafeteria-esque. So we kind of pick and choose.
Well, also, if you say the sentence, I was raised Catholic,
that implies
the semicolon is, I'm not so much now.
Right. Exactly. That implies yes. And religion is sort of in my mind, it's like if you decide that helps you and gives you a focus, I think that's great. It's just not something that I necessarily connect with at this point in my life. So that said,
sure.
When my son is reading the Bible, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, sure.
All right.
You're reading, so who cares, right? I don't care. And he's reading a very, very, very...
He could read the TV guide.
Right, I don't care.
That was still a thing.
Right, I don't care.
He's reading.
Yeah. It's like that scene in A League of Their Own when that girl's reading like smut.
Oh, is reading smut? Yeah.
What does it matter? She's reading, okay? So yeah. So he's reading a very abbreviated version of the story of Noah's Ark. And he gets to the part where Noah sends the dove, and the dove comes back with a sprig. And then in the book, the picture somehow shows that the ark lands on a mountain.
Oh, right.
Right? Like it's supposed to be that like the water starts to recede and he realizes that he's like over him. Yeah. Okay. So the picture is there and Sam's reading and he's like, and then landed on... Is this made up?
Honey,
was like, oh,
what a great question to ask.
We laughed for a long time. Like because he's like, how do you land on a mountain? That doesn't make any sense. And he's got a point, right? Like there's a lot about it that's like, wait, what? And so
okay. So this week's Friday night movie night has to be Day After Tomorrow. Do you remember that movie?
Like only parts of it. What part am I missing? What do I need to do?
Because in Day After Tomorrow, they build the arcs.
Oh, yes.
To get around the storm.
You're right.
And everyone thinks they're spaceships, but they're actually real boats.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Because the sea levels rise and the boats float.
I mean, I guess that's better than what's that movie with Kevin Costner where they're all on water all the time?
Waterworld?
Thank you.
Okay, to quote Dana Carvey, you can't pee into a Mr. Coffee and get out Folgers.
So disgusting. That's so gross. I'm just thinking of the part where he sees paper and he's like, smell it, and he's like all excited about it. Yeah. Anyway, so my son is asking that question. I feel like we answered it pretty well. We were like, you know what? Listen, like, a lot of people believe that what happened in the Bible is word for word what actually happened in history. And then there's a lot of people who believe that everything in the Bible is made up. And then there's people in the middle, right? And I will tell you that just historically speaking, there is evidence of a large flood that lasted for a long time. Now, whether or not it happened exactly like it did in the Bible is up to someone else to decide, right? That could be you when you get older.
Right.
But like, so there, there's a lot of these stories probably have some basis in truth and people can interpret them how they want. And he was like, oh, and just kind of let it go. But then he started asking more questions. We were like, I think it's time for bed. But I mean, it was just so great. Like, how many kids think, is this made up? Like, it was a great question to go on top of the reading. Good. It was awesome.
It's so good. Yeah. That is hilarious.
All right. Y'all know CK and GK love to support fellow indie podcasts. So here's another show you might really love. Hello, this is Mama D, and I'm the host of Petals of Support. Petals of Support is a podcast that offers advice from a mom to anyone that needs a little extra love and support. This is not advice for moms, but advice from a mom. I've covered such topics as forgiveness, how to forgive, when to forgive, and when it's okay to not forgive, letting go, how to make good decisions, and how to handle stressful situations. I'm not a licensed anything. I'm just a mom that wants to provide to you the same advice that I give my kids, my friends, and my family. You can find me on any podcast platform. You can also find me at Twitter at Petals of Support. Please go listen, find the episodes that apply to you, and maybe the ones that don't. You can file that information away for later. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. Thank you. Thanks for listening to our friends. Back to the show.
Here we go. Ready? Kids' birthday parties? Kids' parties in general. Not a fan.
Oh, they're terrible. Kids' birthday party. If you love kids' birthday parties, then you must be in the business that makes money off of them.
And
because even when it's your own kid, nobody loves a kid's birthday party.
When it's your own kid,
nobody does.
It's extra stressful because you're trying to make sure that everyone else is like at least okay. Like,
right.
It's really hard to do that. So we're talking about places to make them not suck and ways to make them not suck. Yes?
Right. Yeah. So Caitlin went through and brainstormed a bajillion places to have children's parties.
Yes.
And because you did not tune into a show to just listen to a list, of course we will have access to the list and everyone can Google a list.
Yeah.
We're also going to break down some of the pluses and minuses about these places. And I have some tips from my own years of parenting of how to make the party suck less.
Yep. Yes, for sure. Okay. So I'm going to start with some indoor stuff. Okay.
Yes.
A local children's museum or discovery center or science center.
Learn while you play.
Learn while you play. And a lot of time, bonus benefit, they have like activities geared to kids and you often don't have to like be the person running the activity. Right?
Dude, anytime that you can hand the party to someone else, love it.
Mm-hmm. A trampoline park or an indoor play center. This is also good for when siblings are invited.
Which is something I'll cover in my How to Make It Suck Less.
Yes. Negative there, though, is that you might have to sign a waiver, which we should have had Jenny do at our party for Sam a couple years ago.
Oh my gosh. When I was brainstorming this with my husband, he was like, Jen, maybe you should put on there sign a waiver. Ha ha.
Yeah. No. Laser tag or bowling.
Mm-hmm.
I just like old retro fun, right? Like there's something to be said for like you're interacting with people, but you're also doing some kind of competitive activity. Always a good time.
Right.
Take the kids to a movie or a virtual reality arcade. Kind of a cool idea, right? Everyone loves VR. It's fun.
And there's options now where you can like rent out the theater and put on whatever movie you want.
Yes. That's a good thing. Also, there are some theaters that are in like they're like 4X or something, or it's not 4K because that's a quality of screen, but it's like 4X.
Right, where they like shake the chairs or give you smells or whatever.
Yeah, and like hit your feet and stuff. That's how we saw the most recent
so we did
Despicable
that.
Me. Sam hated it.
Oh my gosh, we did that on one of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
And I had to close my eyes and try not to throw up.
Yeah, Sam hated it. He would get off the chair whenever it happened.
Like, these moving chairs, I'm not in it.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because I love rides.
I love IMAX theater.
Love rides.
And I expected to really like it. I thought Sam would really like it and he hated it. So just put that out there. An art studio, if your kid is particularly artsy, or a pottery place. Those are always really fun. And the kids get to do an activity and take something home, and that can be their goodie bag. you don't have to make goodie bags, which is a big deal.
Oh, because I'm about to talk about the goodie bags too.
I got stuff to say about those. Something with cooking or baking if your little one likes to do those things, and also bonus, that's a life skill. So I really like that idea. There's always the classic game center or an arcade. A nice tip there would be to supply, if it's a quarters based place, supply some quarters for the kids while they're playing, and you can tell parents ahead of time, like, hey, it's 25 cents a game or whatever, like bring $5, but also then you supply, another $5 for each kid. It's one way to do that. Gymnastics or dance studios, and those are really good for littles too, because a lot of them will have little like tiny gymnastics games and stuff like that you can do for little kids. That one. Yeah, it's a good one. Does your kid like to sing as much as you do, Johnny? Because karaoke and music studios are also a really rad idea for a party.
Okay, especially if you do the Korean karaoke where you rent your own room and you're only singing to your party.
Yes, that's the way to do it. Those are my favorite. There are
also a lot of times you can bring in food and drink.
We used to do Korean karaoke all the time at this place by my parents' house in Aurora. We used to go a lot in high school. It was really fun.
It is fun.
Yeah,
it is fun.
A children's library or bookstore. Now, I'm going to preface this. This is a good idea if and only if this library offers that feature. Because if they don't offer it, that means that you have to keep the kids quiet. And a cake, right? Like, it just won't work. So just putting that out there. This one is Happy birthday. That's very, the call is coming from inside the house. Like, you can't do that. It's not going to work. This one is not my favorite because I think it's creepy. However, it did keep coming up on things when I was researching. So, children's theater, yes, I'm into, or puppet show place, no, not so much. Because again,
oh my gosh,
creepy. The other one was that I really liked is an indoor pool. And if you're not sure if there is one nearby, think like a place that offers swim lessons. That's where you need to be going, right? We just had a friend's, one of Sam's friends' birthday parties at an indoor pool, and I was like, this is brilliant, because her daughter wanted a pool party, but it's January, like not the same,
right? Like, and also it's contained,
right? And it was completely like there were no other kids. It was totally rented out, so we knew that all the kids that were there were just for this party, which was really, really nice.
That's fun.
Yeah. So those are some indoor ideas. We're ready to move on to outdoor. These
Sounds
ones
great.
are, I tried to get like a little bit of everything, but again, outdoorsy ideas primarily for outdoorsy kids. So know your kid before you choose these. A hiking trail or nature reserve. Sometimes there's like little picnic areas. That's a really good way to go. A theme park or
make sure that
park.
you
go ahead.
Check with them.
Yes.
Right. This is another one like the library. Don't just show up to have a party and then find out like, oh, this park actually doesn't offer us to do that.
Right.
Weird.
Speaking of parks, a local park or a playground is also a great idea. Last year for our son's birthday party, we had, there's a kind of fresh like water springs pool that's nearby, and there's a little park right off the side, and I booked with the city and reserved the park for an hour, and then we all took everybody into the like cold springs pool. Like that was just a local park.
That was like an amazing party. I'm going to highlight it in my How to Make It Not Suck.
Oh, thank you. It was
because
so
it was a
hot,
great party.
though. I feel like we had to do it that way.
It's a swimming party.
Yeah.
It's a swimming party. It's hot.
And
it's fine.
And it was June.
All right.
So there's that. Speaking of other parks, a theme park or an amusement park. This is more of an experience kind of party. And this is not a party where you can invite like the whole class, right? Unless you're just made of all the dollars. This would be like a choose 3 friends and I'll take you to the amusement park kind of party, right?
Right. Kind of like, hey, yes, we'll go to the NFL game and you can bring one friend.
Right. Exactly. Same.
And it better be that rich one.
Right. The one who's going to bring lots of cash for his own hot dogs.
Right.
Yeah. Also, there are like paintball parks for outside. There's also laser tag stuff that does outside venues. So laser tag's a little
Right.
harder outside. It'd have to be like a nighttime kind of one, but paintball would be a fun one. And tree climbing or ropes courses are also really fun
Nice.
for outdoor parties. And again,
Right.
experience sort of thing. And you probably are
Yes.
not going to be on the hook for entertaining the kids in any of those so far.
Absolutely not.
Mini golf is fun for parties. Also, go-kart tracks are a great way to go if your kids are old enough to drive the go-karts. Putting that out there. If they're not, a farm or a petting zoo is also an option. Some kids are afraid of the animals, so you do have to be mindful of that part. If there are kids who are nervous about animals, you're going to need to preface by saying this is what will happen, and if your child will feel uncomfortable, please note XYZ. And again, another good thing to do there would be if there's like a way to feed the animals, you again provide a little bit of cash so that people can feed the animals. It's a nice little thing to do for the families.
We went to one that was a mobile petting zoo that came to the person's house,
Ooh, that's a
which
great
was really
idea.
fun. Yeah, they like set up their little enclosure where the kids could sit and hold animals and pet them, da da da. But at the same time, the family had another activity going. They were playing basketball. So kids could rotate in and out of the petting zoo while they're also playing basketball.
Smart.
So that was kind of fun. Like if cuddling a rabbit isn't for you, you can go shoot hoops.
That's a great idea. Love that. If you are someone who is fortunate enough to live near a large body of water, some sort of beach or
Nice.
lake party would be a great idea as well. Because as with swimming parties, you are not responsible for much of the entertainment, right? A community pool or water park. I know lots of people who like splash pads. Here's the problem in my mind with a splash pad, and I'm going to gross some people out here. I read an article about splash pads and how there's one particular splash pad like in Kansas or something. I apologize to people who listen in Kansas. I don't know where it was. It was one of the central flat states there.
A flat state.
Yes. Where they found traces of lemur waste in the splash pad water.
Ew.
Lemur.
How do you even know that?
Because
Like, what kind of testing are you doing to get that specific?
yeah, that's a great question. I know this because the article that I found was posted by a fellow podcast friend, and I forget which one it was, but I was like, this is disgusting. I will never again want to be at a splash pad. I can't speak for every splash pad in America. Some of them are probably very clean. However, I have
Sure.
watched kids in diapers sit on on the spouts.
Or lemurs.
I've never seen a lemur do it, but I have no doubt that the water probably came from like a zoo and then got mixed in, and I just like can't with that.
Right.
So I'm gonna say a community pool or community water park where you know the water is treated would be better than just like a local splash pad. And put that out there. And
Yeah.
also,
I'm kind of grossed out by
yeah,
that.
exactly. Also, children's gardens, botanical gardens that are like really, really nice without a kid area. I'm going to say no, don't do that. But ones that have like a place for kids to run around and play. Absolutely. Always a fun
Yes.
place. But all of those are options for kids' parties. And that way you don't have to have it at your house unless you really want to. Yeah.
Which
Which is fine. We've
Some
done those
people
too. Yeah, we've done those too.
we have to. All right. So this is GK's patented ways to make your child's birthday party suck less.
Yep.
I first said ways to make it not suck, and then I realized that's not possible. It's still a child's birthday party.
Suck
Okay,
less,
so first
suck
off, the
less.
teacher in suck less. The first part is the teacher in me says, do not work around the whole class invitation rule.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Don't ask teachers for emails or contact information. We legally can't give it to you.
Right.
Don't ask teachers to hand out invitations or forward it to the whole class. We can't do that either. Invite the whole class.
Yep.
Or have a school party at school and an outside of school friends party outside of school. Or, and this is my little hack, asterisk, invite the whole class but have the party on a holiday weekend when a lot of people are traveling and no one can come anyhow.
There you go.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I also have to say, like, if you're gonna do it the school party and then outside party, please run the school party idea by your teacher first.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
follow the guidelines.
Ask, hey, little Bobby's birthday is on Friday. Can we do something in class to celebrate? Something like that.
And that teacher is going to say, yes, please bring individually wrapped snacks
Prepackaged.
at this specific time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prepackaged.
They will tell you exactly what to do.
Yep.
All right. Tip number 2, hire some helpers. Now, you are not made of money.
Nope.
I am not made of money. High school kids, particularly those who cannot drive yet, so they probably don't have jobs, or they are looking to start babysitting and need some real experience.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Pay them not by the hour, offer them one chunk of money for the entire party and say, for $25 or for $40 or whatever you're going to pay.
Yep.
Will you come and be my helper at the birthday party?
Genius. Love it.
It works every time.
Love it.
Okay. Are you having a slumber party? Don't have it at your house. We did Abby's at a hotel this year. I will never go back. It was amazing. Everyone is in a confined space. I can see every single girl and exactly everything that they're doing. And when I said it is time to be quiet and the rooms on either side of us will complain, they were quiet.
Nice.
It was awesome.
That does sound great.
Okay. Glamping has become a very popular party.
Interesting.
Do a sleep under. A sleep under is this party that ends at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Nobody sleeps over. They come in their PJs. They bring their sleeping bags. You do all the slumber party activities. And then when mom's ready to go to bed, all the other moms are picking up their kids.
Yep. Love that idea. That might be like star asterisk, all the things. I love that idea.
To quote Lily from How I Met Your Mother, nothing good ever happens after 3 a.m.
Truth.
Or maybe, right. Thank you. I was going to say, maybe it was the mom.
No, I think it's Lily.
It might have been the mom.
Okay, maybe.
But I think Lily was the one who said, nothing good ever happens after 3 a.m. There's no reason to do a sleepover if you're not ready.
No.
Sleep under. This just is fun. And everyone goes home.
Right.
Okay. So choose a venue that is fun for the whole family, including adults. Think about places that everybody wants to go to. Maybe it's not a brewery. Maybe it's not the jump place.
Right.
What locations would everyone enjoy?
But maybe it's
you want parents to stay?
Right.
Maybe it's the Science Museum.
Right. Maybe
that might be fun for them.
It's a brewery that has a playground.
Oh, absolutely.
Because those exist, and I would highly recommend looking for them in your city.
Yes. Okay, for older kids, I'm talking like 7 and up. Don't do presents. Collect a donation instead. Ask your child, what are you passionate about? What do you want to support? And have their friends donate to that cause. You got enough plastic crap at your house. You don't need more of that. And how fun is it for that kid to run their own project?
I love that idea. The other one I've heard that's kind of similar. Now, this is less about charity and more about the kid, right? But if I've heard of things like they're called Fiverr parties. Your kid is 5 years old. The gift is $5.
Love it.
Kid is 8 years old. The gift is $8. You just give them $8. You put it in a card and you say, this is your $8. You can, as the parent, then decide, okay, we are going to take some of it and donate it to that cause that you're mentioning, right? Giving unto others is a good thing.
Yeah. Or you put it all together and you buy one fabulous
And you buy
thing.
one fabulous thing. Yep.
I love it.
I
love it.
Thought that was genius, and I'm very tempted to do it for my child's 7th birthday.
When Abigail turned 6, it was right on the heels of Hurricane Harvey. She had everyone donate to Harvey.
I love that.
And I'm telling you, we still had families bring presents.
Yes.
Because they said, I'm not coming to a birthday party without a present. Oh, okay. but they also made a donation.
Right.
Which I thought was really cool.
I also like the no presents idea because I personally I don't need more stuff. So I will put on the invitation, please don't bring a present. People still do, right. But like I really,
exactly.
But honestly, if someone says no presents at their party, I will try to honor that as much as I can because I know why they're doing it. I also don't want presents. And you know this, I'm like fanatical about sending thank you notes when we get stuff. So like I will end up spending like a lot of the afternoon making my child take pictures so that of each gift so that I can like send out thank yous right away. So I don't, it's just, if they say no presents, don't do presents. But if you want to do something nice, like something like this is a good idea.
Also on the no list, no goodie bags.
Oh my gosh, guys. They're just not necessary.
No one needs that many unsharpened pencils.
Right.
But I will tell you, okay, Caitlin kind of previewed this. Sam, her son, had a fabulous pool party in the summer. Last summer?
Yeah, it was last summer.
Before? I don't even remember.
Last summer. He was turning 6. Yeah.
She rented out some space at a park. We all hung out at the park for a little bit. And then she passed out goodie bags. In the goodie bag, I'm not even kidding you, sunscreen, sunglasses, pool toys. Perfect.
Yeah.
It was all stuff that we could use as we walked to the pool together.
Right.
So if you're going to hand out a goodie bag, why not do it at the beginning and have it be things that will help with the party?
Right.
There's no reason for us to have that many unsharpened pencils or single stickers, tattoos or,
stamps.
Bags of Fritos.
Yes. The snack thing I don't even mind as long as it's a snack my child will eat. That part I don't mind. It's the toys that make noise. Or like they come from like Oriental Trading and they're like in a bag of 50. It's like if it's going to be like a ball that the kid will play with, that's totally different. But it's just the stuff that's like filler that I am like,
right.
Nobody needs
because you feel obligated to give. You don't have to give.
No, you don't have to give. Especially not if you're paying for everyone to have a party. Right, exactly.
You're giving a party. Right. Okay, so Dr. Brene Brown says that clear is kind. State on the invitation what your guest's family should expect.
Yep.
State it on there.
Yep.
Do you need an adult to stay with every child? Mm-hmm. When we did Abby's birthday party on a boat, we said one child and one adult. Yep. And we expect your adult to stay and monitor the kid because we are going to go out into the middle of Lake Travis and we are going to swim.
Yep.
And you are in charge of your own child. In fact, we were so serious about that, we didn't have any booze on the boat.
Yeah.
We said, nope.
Sorry.
We want the parents to be watching their kids because we aren't.
Yep. Totally.
Is this a drop-off party? If it's a drop-off party, say it. So that if you're not ready to drop your kid off at someone's house, you can decline the invitation.
Yep.
Or it's not that weird thing like, should I stay? Should I go? I don't know. Yeah. It's weird. Just say, this is a drop-off party. Go have a night out on the town. We'll see you back at 9 p.m. And are siblings invited? That's not necessary.
No.
You don't have to invite the whole family.
Right.
If you are opening the party to everyone, express that. If not, there's polite ways to say that, such as, Toby, you're invited to the party.
Right.
Drop off is this time, pick up is this time.
Right. You can also make it explicit, like due to, venue restrictions, I can only have the child and no siblings.
Right.
Apologies.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short is sweet. Yes. 2 to 3 hours is more than enough time.
3 hours is a long time for the family who's throwing that party. So 2 hours is right on the money.
Okay. Winner, chicken dinner. If your party occurs at a mealtime, guests expect a meal.
Yeah.
That's between 11 and 1 and 5 and 7.
Yep.
So this is either awesome or awful. Here are the reasons why it's awesome.
Yeah.
You can fill some of the time with eating.
Absolutely.
You can offer something fun or interesting to eat. Bring in a food truck, make your own pizza, a waffle bar, etc., etc. And you can include others in the meal prep and provisions. So, for example, if grandma really wants to be a part of this party, let her be the person who brings the pizza.
Smart.
Okay? Why is it awful? First off, money. Food ain't free, people. Okay? The other thing is dietary concerns are real and food can feel exclusive. So at Abigail's most recent party, we did, again, the slumber party at a hotel, which, again, I cannot tout enough. It was so great. We did make your own Sunday bar. And I made sure to put on the invitation, do you have dietary restrictions? If so, what are you not eating?
Right.
Because we wanted everyone to be able to participate in that. And we knew that even if you're lactose intolerant, there is a way for you to still make a fun Sunday that's maybe not ice cream based.
Right.
But food can really feel exclusive if you are someone with a dietary restriction and the person who's serving didn't consider that.
I like how you are saying this after you tested your husband's allergy by
actually exposing him to his allergen.
By saying, some people just say they're gluten free and they're not actually gluten free.
Right.
But I like that. That's a really important one.
You should believe them when they say it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what their reasoning is. Just honor it.
It's their restriction.
Right.
Okay. And then it's also awful because many adults don't want to eat birthday cake and mini corn dogs. So you end up with way too much leftover food.
Put some bagel bites out there. I'll come.
Right. Yeah. Hello. Have you ever been to a pizza party where all the pizza was actually eaten?
No.
I have been to plenty of pizza parties and hosted plenty. In fact, just recently at the end of Abigail's flag football season, it was, who wants to take home a whole pizza?
Yeah.
We've all done it.
Yeah.
We've all done
totally.
it. So food, it's really up to you. But if you want to avoid it, avoid meal times. And if you want to include it because it eats up time or that's part of the theme of your party, plan it around a mealtime so people are ready to eat.
Yeah. I will say if you're going to avoid it and not do it at a mealtime, it would be a good idea to have at least like snacks and water, maybe something like that. Snacks and juice, something like that.
No, you might not have a meal,
right? But just go to Costco,
serve some kind of food,
right? Go to Costco beforehand.
Just go to Costco.
That's what I mean. That's what I would do.
And my last tip is to be creative and novel. Caitlin gave you a great list of both indoor and outdoor places. Your kid is going to feel special if their party is different. You are going to feel good knowing that you hit it out of the park. And everybody loves a good theme day, right?
Yeah.
Now, my husband did chime in and said, don't have your kid do yoga archery just because you're trying to be the cool mom.
Wow. Can we do goat yoga?
Make sure that whatever you're offering is reflective of what your kid will enjoy.
Yeah.
Just because you want to be a hipster doesn't mean you have to choose the most random activities.
Okay. I think that was a pretty good list. We got places and you got ways to make it suck less. I think that works. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
As you're listening to us, you should go ahead and choose all 5 stars. So please rate, review, share, tell your friends. And as you are planning your child's birthday party or planning to go to one, make good choices.
And find us on social. Tell us your favorite party ideas. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.